Theodore U. Rowe, or Ted, as he's known to his family, friends, and coworkers, earned his Doctorate of Jurisprudence degree and his Master's of Industrial Engineering degree from the University of Houston. Ted also earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in Aerospace Engineering from Texas A&M University. Ted has been supporting NASA as an intellectual property attorney since 2002. He began his NASA career at Johnson Space Center in 1986 as a cooperative education student. Ted has worked in the Mission Operations Directorate, the International Space Station Program Office, and the Technology Transfer Office, where he's held progressively more responsible positions. In addition to intellectual property law, Ted has experience in procurement, commercial partnerships, and international law, as well as project management and guidance algorithm development. In 2018, Ted was named Deputy Chief Counsel, JSC Legal Office, and Ted rose to the position of Chief Counsel for the Office of General Counsel, JSC, in 2019. Ted has received numerous awards acknowledging his contributions to NASA, including the NASA Exceptional Service Medal and the 2010 NASA Attorney of the Year Award. Ted was an active member of the Houston Intellectual Property Law Association, and he served as its president from 2016 through 2017. Ted enjoys spending time with his wife Amanda and his son Sean. He plans on traveling to and living in different countries, learning new languages, and reading Britannica's 54-volume Great Books of the Western World series.
Ted, congratulations on your retirement from NASA. Your stellar career, beginning as a co-op in 1986, serves as a model example for many of our current Pathways students who wish to follow in your footsteps. You've worked your way through many organizations at JSC, including the Mission Operations Directorate, International Space Station Program Office, and Technology Transfer Office before starting your career as an intellectual property attorney in the Office of General Counsel in 2002. You've risen through the ranks, culminating as Chief Counsel in 2019. Since then, I've personally appreciated your support as JSC's top lawyer and all of the experience you brought to the position related to procurement, commercial partnerships, and international law, as well as the sound legal advice you provided to my office and the center. Cheers to your next adventure. We'll miss you at JSC.
Greetings, Ted. One of the things I thought about sharing with you is when I first came to know you. When I came to NASA, it was really interesting. I had never worked with any patent attorneys. I think the only patent attorney I knew was a professor in law school. So coming to NASA introduced me to a whole new area of practice of law that I just was unfamiliar with. I had the honor and pleasure of having my office across the hall from the patent attorneys at Goddard, the true leader of the patent community at that time was one John Trzanski. And then the other true leader at that time who I began to hear about was Ed Fine at JSC. And so throughout my NASA career, I know when folks would talk about patent issues, they would talk to John Trzanski, talk to Ed Fine. And then there was another name that started coming up at JSC, and it was Ted Rowe. I did not have the opportunity to work with you or really sit down and talk with you until I became the AGC for contracts. And there were some issues that came up, and I talked with you and Ed about them on my visits down there. And that's really where I got to see you at work and really had an appreciation, developed an appreciation for what your clients at JSC thought of you. You were very well versed. You could explain a very difficult problem simply, not only to me, but to your clients at JSC, to the folks in the office. Folks enjoyed working with you. You were one of the people when you walked into a room, people were happy to see you. Not always the case for lawyers, but they were happy to see you. They welcomed you. And it's something that has carried through in every position that you've been in. That's why when Donna made you the deputy in the legal office, there was no surprise to all of us. And it was also encouraging because you were a role model. In this agency, we sometimes limit our attorneys to particular areas of practice or see only a few capabilities in them. And when you stepped into the role of deputy chief counsel at JSC, you showed us, as one of your colleagues said to all of us, patent attorneys are attorneys. And you really demonstrated that when you served as deputy, helping to lead the office there, and you truly demonstrated that when you became chief counsel at the Johnson Space Center. It has been an honor and a pleasure to work with you, and particularly during these last 2 years during the pandemic, as we had to figure out how to work effectively from remote locations, how we also had to deal with both joys and sorrows experienced by the people who we were supervising and who we were working with across the organization. You were a soothing voice. You were the voice of encouragement, and you always came in with a plan. We knew Ted had a plan, and sometimes you said, you know, I'm not really a people person, but you really are a people person, because we needed the person to come in with a plan who is going to help us get from day one to day two. And for that, we greatly appreciate you. And there were many of us who recognized you as having that talent. There are also those outside of OGC who recognized your talent. And when we were involved in the transformation, you helped not only OGC, but the rest of the mission support community think about risk, think about developing a risk matrix for our organizations, worked with people to train them on how to think about those issues. And for that, Ted, all of the MISO organizations are indebted to you. We will miss you. We will miss your wise counsel. But you and Amanda will have a wonderful life together and begin a wonderful journey heading towards Mexico, spending a little time with your parents before you head off. And I just ask that both of you enjoy each other. You enjoy retirement. And no matter what, we still know where you are, and we can find you if we need you. Thank you for your service, and truly, it has been an honor to work with you.
Yeah, I'd like to say a few words about Ted. I've known Ted for probably going on 35 years. We were both undergrads in aerospace engineering at Texas A&M. And really, I got to know Ted because we started on the same tour here at JSC in January of 1986. We fairly quickly became friends, and we had the same clique of friends that would hang out. But Ted and I think, seemed to do a lot of things together, and so that continuation happened educationally. You know, after we finished undergrad, he and I started a master's program in engineering, and then both he and I started law school back 91 to 95. The one thing that I'm sure all of you realized fairly quickly after meeting him is that Ted has always a plan. He thinks out different facets of his life, either personal or work, and it's a well thought out plan, and then he executes. It doesn't matter how many problems or issues he faces, he always sticks to the plan. He doesn't deviate. And I think retirement really is a plan that he had envisioned to be able to retire very early and very comfortably. So kudos to him to sticking to the plan and seeing it to the finish line.
Hi, everybody. I've known Ted for a long time, back when I was a chief counsel, before I moved to JSC to work in the ISS program, which seems like a long time ago. But I really feel like I've gotten to know Ted better in the last couple of years, which is kind of ironic during the pandemic. We've had a lot of virtual meetings, and hopefully virtual friendships will endure just as well as regular ones, because I'm looking forward to watching Ted's next moves. And, I think of Ted, I think of a very analytical person, a person who's grounded in science. He's definitely got an engineering point of view and a community of lawyers, which is really great for diversity. And because of that, I've really had fun talking to him and collaborating with him and bouncing ideas off him, because he really comes at problems from a different perspective. He's very thoughtful, very insightful, but mostly I think of Ted, as being like driven by data. And he's not only someone who really appreciates data, but he's also really good at communicating it and displaying it in charts, and basically convincing people through the use of data. And there are a couple of great examples of that, in my work, where he's done some benchmarking charts comparing our legal organizations to others, and I recommend them to you because they're really tremendous charts. But that's just one example. I guess the point is that I've really learned a lot from Ted. He's been invaluable to me in my role as transformation program manager. And if anybody thinks that, I've had some good ideas and done some good things, it's probably because I got the idea from Ted. But he also has a lot of credibility in our community because people see the same things that I'm telling you about how he's got this unique perspective and he's so well grounded. He's got a very cool head. He never gets excited or loses his temper or anything like that. That's unimaginable. He's instead, he comes at the worst news thinking about solutions. He's always oriented toward how can I make things better? And he's, mark my words, made a lot of things better. He seems to me, from my point of view, that Ted's retiring a bit early in life. But there's this phenomena I've noticed where people who do tend to retire early sometimes come back to the workforce. And I'm convinced whatever Ted does, whether he retires to a villa in Mexico or gets involved in the space program one way or another, whatever he does, he's going to be a great success. And, I will definitely miss him. But I really appreciate the fact that he's following his dreams, which is, what I think everybody should do. And although dreams may change, Ted's not one to just put his toe in the water. He's like jumping in, full scale. And I really appreciate that. And I wish him the best. Congratulations, Ted, and everything you do. And I look forward to keeping up with you and trying to catch up with you.
Wow, Tad, I can't believe we've come to this. It's been over 2 decades, my friend. NASA brought us together over 20 years ago as co-workers, and it didn't take very long before we became pretty close friends. I just want to wish you and Amanda all the health, happiness, and fulfillment in your retirement. You do everything the best, and I know you will do retirement just as well as you've done your career. I do look forward to many, many more years of our friendship, which, as you know, I deeply cherish. All the best.
Hi, Ted. Congratulations on your retirement. We definitely will miss you in the office. One of my favorite memories of you is when we were at Tiffany Como's wedding in Arkansas. The Cupid Shuffle came on and you hopped up and you started dancing. And then you taught me to do the Cupid Shuffle. Who knew that Ted knew how to dance like that? Anyway, enjoy your retirement. I hope you and Amanda enjoy Mexico and look forward to hopefully visiting you all. Wishing you all the best.
Ted, you will be missed in the legal office. You've been an inspirational leader and have taken our office into new places, doing things in new ways that we probably wouldn't have been brave enough to try without your inspirational leadership. Thank you so much for being a mentor to me and to our son, Thad. You will be missed. Enjoy retirement, Ted and Amanda. Through his years at NASA, Ted has been a co-worker, a lecturer, a philanthropist, a supervisor, a mentor, a friend. Ted even had some acting debuts, including being a nest soldier in the Transformers movie Dark Side of the Moon. Not to mention his starring roles in some of our Halloween videos for the legal office. Overall, Ted has been a really good sport when it comes to our Halloween celebrations.
Yeah, again, Ted and I date back 35 plus years ago, and as you know, we went to law school together, UVA part-time for about 4 years. When we got out, we had a law practice together. Let me know if I'm not loud enough. Do I need to move closer to the mic? I'm getting some puzzled looks. Hey, Gary and Carmen. So I don't know if you know Gary and Carmen and Ted and Amanda and Ed and some others. We were world travelers together before the COVID. We would travel all over, having these glorious adventures. Warnecki, did you say that you could hear me, or do I need to move to them? I'm good. Okay. So yeah, what I was saying is Ted and I had a law practice together as soon as we finished law school. We did it part-time and handled many cases, but I remember one of the big cases that we first handled was a big contracts case. We took time off work, and I remember the court reporter early on was kind of had a sidebar discussion. She said, man, that Ted, he is something special. He just knew how to organize the arguments, whether it was opening or closing, or he had a lot of charts that he presented, but just amazing. And I knew he was going to have an amazing legal career, even though he didn't end up just like I, doing a lot of trial work. So, you know, I want to just highlight one of the other amazing attributes about Ted. This next phase, I wish you a lot of luck. I know you're a somewhat serious guy most of the time, and so I don't want to make you feel awkward, but I love you, brother, and I wish you the best and the most happiness in your next phase, and along with Amanda. And hopefully.
Congratulations.
So, Warnecki, you want me to open mic it? Okay. I know it looks like Ed might be ready. Ed or Gary, anyone want to step up and say a few words?
I'll step up. This is Gary. Carmen, come on over here and say hi. We, hi, Olga. Hi, Jeevan. Hi, Ed, and Ted and Amanda. We miss y'all. I know Ken Human was saying it seems like Ted is retiring a little early. I think he's, I wanted him to retire 10 years ago when I retired so we could keep traveling the world. But when we first retired, Carmen first and then first trip we did internationally was with Ted and Amanda, and we spent about a month in Vietnam together. And we've just traveled ever since. We love it. We've traveled with a lot of the other JSC folks. You know, when I was up at headquarters as the agency counsel for IP, I tried to get Ted to move up to Washington a number of times, but JSC is the benefit that he would not leave Texas. He wouldn't leave JSC, and he wouldn't leave Ed. So you guys benefited from that. But I'll tell you something that he tacked on to Carmen and I when we retired. He says, you're now living the dream. And it's true. And Ted and Amanda, you're going to come and live the dream with us. In fact, less than a month from now, we're all going to be traveling again together. So Ted was always a go-to guy in the IP. You know, always wanted to get his opinion. We always wanted to him. He, as everybody else has said, he's a great thinker. He's a great organizer, and he's a great friend. And I guess that's all I can say about him. Is he's just, you know, he's tops all around. You want to say hi?
Hi, congratulations. Can't wait to see you guys.
Okay, so I will let someone else go. Thanks.
Thank you all so much. If Jeevan and Gary wouldn't mind turning off their cameras, we'll do the live presentations here in the room. One microphone on. Is his microphone on and yours on?
Mine is on. Ready?
We're ready.
This day is frankly more personal to me than professional. Ted and Amanda and I go back decades. I don't know how many people know, but I walked Amanda down the aisle when they got married. I think the pandemic has been a blessing in disguise for me, because it gave me 2 years to get used to not being with this guy every day of my life. So the universe was saying something to me. I apologize to the rest of you who had to put up with it, but I think it was a good practice for me to realize that I could survive without being with this guy every day of my life. The good thing is, like Gary said, we'll be together for a good month after this. I don't need to tell you guys how much I love you guys, and how much I know you guys will be every bit as successful in retirement as you've been in your long career at NASA. And with that.
Oh, wow.
It's
Mexico and Texas.
Yes, it's my honor to be presenting you with one of many. I know you're trying to skinny down the stuff. You know, when you're moving out of the country, you want to skinny down stuff, but NASA's not going to let you get away with that. We're giving you more stuff. So, all the best to you guys. I love you, and you know that. Look forward to being with you almost a month.
Yeah.
In a month.
Yeah.
And now we'll hear from Vanessa Weish.
Hello, everyone. Wow, Ed, that was so so touching. Thank you so much for that. Ted, you know, I want to thank you for your years of dedication to the success of NASA's missions. And Amanda, I want to thank you for supporting him. I've known Ted since our shuttle days, and he was always a problem solver. He was a problem solver as an engineer and a problem solver as a lawyer. And just want to say thank you for that. I think we have a little gift somewhere in the room there. Awesome. So, so Ted, this is a bookend that we're providing to you. I can't see it, but thumbs up. Oh, it's still coming out of the wrapper. Sorry. There we go. Awesome. So it's a bookend, and on the inscription it says, this Texas flag was flown in the cargo supply aboard SpaceX 23, and that was August 29, 2021 through October 1 of 2021. While it was docked to the ISS, it traveled more than 12 million miles, and it's presented to
Theodore Rowe, in appreciation for your leadership, commitment, and dedicated service to NASA. Your professionalism and counsel will continue to advance human exploration for years to come. From your many friends and colleagues at the Johnson Space Center. And I, on a personal note, just want to say thank you for your support of the center for so many years and for always being the voice of, hey, did you think about doing it this way? Or here's some different ideas for you to consider. Or, you know, one of my all-time favorites is, you guys are doing good in that area, but did you think about that? And that is exactly what we needed, was to have you to be there to push us to go forward as we consider our Dare, Unite, Explore vision. So many, many thanks to you, Ted. You are one of a kind, a one in a million, and a super great guy. And Amanda, I know you already know that. And so I say, you know, you're just retiring. You are going and moving away, but you're not going to be that far. And so please come back and visit us often. We'll miss you.
All right. So Ted, first of all, just let me say congratulations. You know, you hear in the news a lot about the Great Resignation. There's a lot of news about that, but you know, within a couple of months when I came down to JSC, you were already talking about your retirement, and you had the date picked out, just about too. So you know, it's really it's your own plan. You're not just going with the tide flow right now. And so I certainly appreciate that. So, and the second thing I want to say is I really appreciate you know, the times we got to spend together. You are the one person who I've ever met and know that can watch a movie, whatever scene from it, and the story of you telling the scene from the movie is funnier than the movie. Like, and sometimes I hadn't seen the movie and I'm like, oh, I'll go see it. Ted said it was so, you know, and he's telling me all about it. And I watch the scene and it's just not as funny as when I had Ted tell me his story about it. And so, you know, that's just one of the many things I can think about that I enjoyed. The other thing I watched a video. You know, I really appreciate the fact that you let me be one of the guys that played golf with you, because it certainly wasn't my golfing talent. And I really appreciate being able to share those times as well. And last, I want to thank you for your leadership. I mean, you stepped up in the role as other folks have mentioned. I mean, your dedication, your determination, and your desire. You know, you're not just a 3D athlete like that coach told you many years ago. You're a 3D person, and in many dimensions, you've contributed immensely to our organization and to the mission. And I'm very thankful for all of that. And so are a lot of the people here in our office. And so with that, you can't have one bookend without another, right? And so I present to you the other bookend for this. And just in case. Do you want to read the second one? Oh, sure. Of course. Thank you. Okay, it says this NASA flag was flown in the crew cargo supply aboard the SpaceX Crew 2 flight, April 23rd, 2021 through November 8th, 2021, while docked to the ISS. Traveled more than 80 million miles and presented to Ted Rowe, of course, in recognition of your 36 years of federal service and appreciation of your loyalty and dedication to the JSC legal office and the entire Office of General Counsel enterprise. From your friends in the JSC legal office. And just so you cleaning up, and I found a couple of books that you could go ahead and, this one even says Return to Ted. So, Guide on Depositions and a little book of space law with all your notes in it. I'm not sure how I ended up with it in my house, but anyway.
That's where they were.
Hope you didn't spend too much time looking for it. So there you go. And if you're getting rid of those books, maybe you can reach out to us first and let us have it back.
Absolutely.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Kurt.
Hey, Ted and Amanda.
Hey.
So it's been wonderful working with you and hanging with you all and having lunch with you all. I'm going to truly miss your leadership in our office. And so the city of Houston found out that you all were leaving town. And so I'm going to read this to you.
Okay.
This is from the city of Houston. Proclamation. Ted Rowe has spent his entire career enabling and advancing the mission of the National Aeronautics and Space. Is this one?
Oh, hey.
Okay. At National Aeronautics and Space Administration at the Johnson Space Center as an attorney and engineer since 1986. As chief counsel at NASA JSC, Ted Rowe has been instrumental in serving as an advisor and advocate for positioning the city of Houston as a major player in the growth of the United States commercial human spaceflight industry. Under his leadership, the legal team at JSC has supported public-private partnerships resulting in multi-million and multi-billion-dollar procurements, commercial transactions, and enhanced international partnerships for growing human presence in low Earth orbit and expanding human presence into deep space. He previously served as the Deputy Chief Counsel and an intellectual property attorney. In addition to his tenure with NASA JSC, Ted Rowe served as a board member and president of the Houston Intellectual Property Law Association and received numerous awards and accolades for his contributions to NASA, including Exceptional Service Medal and 2010 NASA Attorney of the Year. More than 36 years of dedicated service to NASA JSC, Ted Rowe will begin his well-earned retirement on March 31st, 2022. The city of Houston commends and appreciates Ted Rowe for the worthwhile contributions he has made to advance in the city of Houston's role in space exploration and extends best wishes for a happy retirement and continued success. Therefore, I'm not Sylvester Turner, but on behalf of Sylvester Turner and the mayor of the city of Houston, hereby proclaim March 31st, 2022, Ted Rowe Day.
Wow. Ted Rowe Day. You heard it. You heard it. Ted Rowe Day.
That's amazing.
So because we know you're so special, we need to think about how we're going to celebrate that day.
Yeah. Burger Nation.
You already know. We were trying to think of ways to celebrate. We said one thing is to take someone to dinner with a BOGO coupon.
Yeah.
Because we know that's what you do. Go golfing, eat at Burger Nation. So we're going to go have lunch at Burger Nation on the 31st of March. Make a plan, because you always got a plan, and then retire and move to Mexico. So that's going to be your last day of work. So you're going to leave. And then also, this is for us. Grant us 59 minutes on your last day.
That's a good one. Always bargaining.
Thank you so much. And we didn't frame it because we knew you were getting rid of stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, if that wants to go out too, that's fine.
Thank you. Uh-oh.
Not yet. Thanks everybody for being here. Rebecca, thank you for having us in your home. Randy, thank you for having us in our home. I don't know, somewhere. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Please, for Randy and Rebecca. And thank you to everybody for making this happen. It really took the office so that we could put this together, and I appreciate everybody's efforts. Dawn for leading the effort, Warnicki for your efforts. Tiffany, everybody who led a committee, thank you so much. The food committee, the decorating committee, the gift committee. There was many committees, so thank you for all that. Next, let me thank Amanda for loaning us your husband for 36 years. It's no small, and we do this in the military as well, and it's no small feat and no small sacrifice to give your spouse to a cause like government service. And so we really appreciate you, because I know sometimes you had to work long nights and sometimes you had to work weekends and sometimes a work thing may have gotten in the way of a family event. We know that happens, but we appreciate you. So thank you. Thank you. Second, Ted, thank you for teaching us about spreadsheets, flowcharts, and checklists and templates. Can't forget templates. Without them, right? It was cheat sheets. Thank you. White papers, fact sheets, whatever they are. Office guidebooks. We could go on, but you know, we've always had a great office, but you know, with subsequently each chief counsel making it better, having their own impact, right? Your leadership, your mentorship, which I personally appreciate, and I know other folks do as well, and always having our back, always having top cover for us in those difficult situations. I appreciate, the office appreciates, and you know, we shifted, right? We shifted under your leadership to one of risk management versus, you know, solely, which we're always going to focus on client delivery and being reactive, but also one of risk management and risk identification. And you brought that for us, and I appreciate that. It's a different mindset, and I know that we're better practitioners for it. So thank you. And we also know you love to play golf. And because we're the government, we can't afford to get you an entire set of golf clubs. But we get you a tailor-made M4, right, which is a good driver, and we know how bad you slice the ball. It has a draw bias built into it. That's good. So you're good. That's good. So you should be able to hit the ball down the fairway. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for your service. Thank you for your mentorship and your leadership. Thank you for your friendship. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it.
I'll go next.
Oh, there you go.
Looks like you're gonna do the thing. So in case you guys don't know me, my name is Ricky Villarreal. I'm old friend of Ted's. Ted told me, hey, just wear a t-shirt and shorts. So I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't trust Ted. So I went to A&M with Ted a long time ago. And then I followed him to law school. So we went to law school together, and was not as smart as Ted. I remember studying for the bar exam, and I would go to Ted, hey, I don't understand this thing. He would like verbatim spit out some code from the IRS thing. And I mean, he's got a photographic memory or something like that. But no, I've known these two guys for a long time. I really love these guys and look forward to spending more time with you. I think he's already going to couch surf at one of my places. I have a place in Austin, so he's already says he's going to be living there. So I have a roommate now. He's also, I guess, one of the co-founders of this Delta Men Club, which Rusty's here. I think he's one of the guys too, which typically means when we join a competition or do some burgers thing, it typically means I'm driving and I'm paying, but he gets a free lunch. Or if we're playing some sport, it's like me and Rusty might win, but we still lose because there's some hidden clause. So we get used to losing or donating to the cause, whatever it is. But it's been great knowing you guys. Love you guys, and look forward to your retirement. And good luck to you guys. Love you, man. So anyway, I'm also an attorney, but I didn't get to the legal office. So I'm in engineering. So I'm also retiring next week too. But I'm going through that damn checklist by myself. I called Ted, hey, how do you do this? I don't know. I got people doing it. I'm like, I don't know anybody doing it.
I got people.
So, this is Ted. This is Ricky. Right here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And one last thing, right? These were for you, Amanda. So that was your bouquet. So thank you again. We appreciate it. This one is loose.
Okay, well, we'll just keep going both times.
Great.
Yeah, that blue screen of your batteries running low is a bad sign. It always happens in the middle of a Teams meeting. Hey, Ted, congratulations on your retirement. You know, just thinking back, if I'm doing my math right, I don't even want to say the year, but early in MOD, if I have it right, you were doing a lot of flight controller stuff, maybe even some facility ops stuff. And then I distinctly remember it was like, I think you had told me, hey, I'm going to law school in the evening or something. Yeah. And there were a couple folks that did that. And I thought, that's really a damn good idea. I actually thought about it. I probably should have. That would have been really cool. Could have joined your team, maybe. Yeah. Maybe not. But really applaud that effort because you bring, different facets of experience as you then mature in the organization. So, as chief counsel, you're in the arena, you're in the hot seat, and it's shouldering a hell of a lot of responsibility. Just want to pass on a thanks from FOD, a sincere thanks. You've served us well for many years. And again, the leadership, the dedication, the experience, and we appreciate it. Now, I also thought coming over here, my God, I'm surrounded by lawyers. I don't know where I got this thing. Apparently somebody signed it and it looks like my signature. I've been vouched for it. But again, I don't know where I got it. But it is something to say, hey, thanks, Ted. It's some photographs of what you have been involved and helped enable over many years. It's the FOD coin. Everything we do at NASA's umbrellaed under, Achievement Through Excellence, the legal office, FOD. But the greatest thing on here and the biggest thing on here is the summation sign, the Sigma, and it represents the team. And you're part of this family. You're part of our team. You'll always be part of this team. You'll always be part of this family. And we appreciate you. This cutout is from the NBL. So I think that's what someone may have told me. Don't quote me. I try to be very generalist when I'm around lawyers. But again, it's appreciation for everything you've done. So small token of our thanks and wish you very well in your retirement.
Ted, was FOD your favorite client or just your most challenging?
Favorite, I have a bias because, I came from FOD. I spent probably more than 10 years in FOD.
Ted, you don't have to answer.
Let's be more probing. What part of FOD caused you to go?
Yeah. So is it my time to say whatever?
Is there anybody else that wants to say anything?
Yeah, could I say something if you have a moment?
Sure.
If you do it locally, I didn't want to jump in too soon. I just wanted to congratulate you and Amanda and Sean. I'm very excited for both of you. I mean, Mexico sounds absolutely wonderful, but that's the personal congratulations. I'd also like to thank you as the agency IP counsel for all you've done for the IP community. I mean, we can't express our thanks enough. You've been invaluable. Your contributions have been innumerable. And as I said, as Samara said, you've been a great role model for all of us. So thank you so much. And because I know that everyone's going to miss you, we took up a collection and we also knew you were downsizing. So we didn't want to buy anything bulky. So we're going to be, if you look in your email for NASA, in just a few minutes, you're going to get an Amazon gift card for $300 from all your IP friends. And again, cheers, all the best to both of you, and good luck, and please keep in touch. Thanks.
Thank you, Helen. I guess, oh.
Hey, Ted,
Yeah,
if we've got one more minute, I wanted to just chime in with a couple of thoughts. This will probably be repetitive. But as Vanessa and many others have pointed out, you had a lot of experience before coming to the legal community, whether in mission ops, program management, engineering experience with tech transfer. And I fondly remember our paths crossing early in your career as an attorney, but I didn't really get to know you until I saw you in action as a deputy when I was the chief counsel at Langley. And I remember getting the deputy chief counsels together really as a team for the very first time as we were contemplating becoming an enterprise, and something that we identified as our capability leadership team. And we were working on implementing enterprise knowledge management. And I remember a meeting in a hotel across from the front gate of JSC where you were very instrumental, and you stood out in terms of helping us take concrete action and focus on the end state. and really just find a path to move forward. And I think the significance of that can't be overstated. And I'll just contrast it to some of the other input that we were receiving along the way at that time that was focused on questioning why we were doing things, or pointing out that we might be on the wrong path, or pointing out all of the potential issues that could come up relative to what we were doing, or pointing out that even more data might help us be able to consider other options. Instead, we were at a point where we needed action, and you helped us move ahead, really bringing, results to the entire enterprise. I thought about how to describe the set of traits that I saw and that many others have talked about, and I thought about your interview for Chief Counsel at Johnson. We had about 10 questions and about 20 sub-questions. It seemed interminable, but the funny thing was every answer that you came up with, I think you started off with a sentence that referenced your cognitive diversity. And I remember writing down cognitive diversity at the very top of my notes, because you kept harping on this cognitive diversity. But I think it's a great way to characterize the contribution that you've made and the strength that you brought with you to our enterprise, and how our enterprise has benefited from that cognitive diversity. We've now got better collaboration as an enterprise thanks to the tools like LawNet, Legal Files, and Leos that you helped us put together and figure out how to implement. We've got, the General Counsel has a strategic communication tool and process that didn't exist before, where she can reach out and talk to and communicate with the entire enterprise. We have a single operating platform as an enterprise, and you've even helped us implement an enduring risk identification and management process. So I just wanted to thank you for that cognitive diversity, all the impacts that you have made. Thanks to you, and thanks mostly to Amanda for being there and supporting you, as we know she did for the many years. So all the best, Ted.
Thank you, Tom. So I guess it's my turn now. Wow. As I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about, the 36 years that everybody's been saying, more than 36 years since I first, started working at JSC as a co-op student. And it's mind-blowing, really. At my point in my life, it just seems like it's a blink of an eye. It just went by so quick. NASA's been my only employer. I've worked here my entire professional career. And the older I got, the more I realized just how special that was, and how grateful I am for that opportunity, for many reasons. Obviously it's because of NASA's noble missions. We're trying to expand human civilization. We're trying to increase scientific knowledge and inspire the next generation. But more than anything else, it's really about, the people at JSC and at NASA. And, we say that we're family a lot at NASA, and someone who comes in that doesn't work at NASA and hears that for the first time may think that's a little bit cliche, but, I would just invite them to come to a retirement party like this, or come to an office gathering, or come to a special event. I can go on and see how people interact and see how much they like each other and how much they enjoy spending time with each other. We are family. We are a true family at NASA and Johnson Space Center. And that's also very special. So as a family, I wanted to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy schedule, both in person as well as virtually, to be here. I greatly appreciate that. I want to thank all of you for just being you, for being collaborative, for being open-minded, for being so intelligent and so respectful, and just always being there to help out whenever help is needed. I wanted to thank everybody individually who's here, but then I started thinking, I don't want to be that guy that people remember that spent an hour talking at their retirement party. So what I'll do is I'll just collectively, say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are my family. I will miss each and every one of you. And, like everybody was saying, thank you for your friendship most of all. We're gonna ride off into that retirement sunset, Amanda and I. And, You know, some of you may be thinking, oh, he sounds like he's having second thoughts. He's going to miss all of us. Well, I am going to miss you, but you know, for those of you who know me well, and there are a lot of you here as well as virtually, you know that's not the case. You know, I've had a lot of fun at NASA for sure, but I understand the difference between work fun and retirement fun, and I'm looking forward to that retirement fun. So, you know, Amanda and I are going to ride off into that retirement sunset, and wherever we land, you know, it looks like it's going to be San Miguel de Allende. All of you all are invited to share in our retirement fund. Just try not to come all at one time. Yeah. So in closing, just thank you, NASA, for 36 years of work fund. Thank you all for your camaraderie. Just thank you for being there and all your kind words today and your well wishes. And you know, when anybody stops me and says, hey, where did you retirement fund? Where did you work? I'm going to proudly say I worked in one of the best places to work, probably the best place to work, NASA. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
I just want to say one more thing. Take that, Paul Pastrick, and all you IP guys will know what that means.
Yes, we do.
Happy
Congrats,
retirement.
Ted. Bye, guys.
Bye.